summing it up. And here I am on the cast.
Right, that's right.
Casting it.
This is like the Super Bowl and Christmas all in one day. I mean, this is amazing.
Do we have any gifts for a big game?
We should.
Yeah, we should have brought something. Maybe a
Getting a
putting
double
green.
magnum of Silver Oak Cabernet Sauvignon for
There was a
your appearance
bottle
here.
around here in the studio somewhere in between commercials. I heard about you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get to the highlight of the podcast, which will be Big Game James story time, but we're going to do that later. We should start, though, since this is a big week in the NBA.
Yeah.
Free agency, of course, and everybody trying to figure out what the roster's going to look like. And the first thing that the Lakers had to figure out, which is what's going to happen with LeBron. Is he going to opt into his player option for this season, for his record 23rd season? And reportedly, he has done so, James. So it was likely that was going to happen, but what did you make of that, and kind of how does that shape what comes next for Los Angeles?
Well, LeBron wants to win. I think he wants to try to win. I don't know how many more years he's going to play. Is this his final year? Who knows? But LeBron is still valuable, and along with Luka, that's got to be very attractive for players who want to play with guys who know how to win. So yeah, it's good to see that he opts in. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next year. If it's 23rd year and he's healthy, he might want to go out healthy, retire healthy. But we don't know. If this is last year, by opting in, Perez, tough.
Yeah, not surprised that he's coming back to the Lakers, okay? Some people were like, oh, maybe he's going to opt out and go somewhere else. No, I mean, you leave $53 million on the table if you opt out. That is available, let me check my notes real quick, nowhere on any NBA team. No one has that type of cap space to sign LeBron James, so no doubt he's going to opt in. And James, to your point, the last few years, LeBron has basically been doing, okay, I'll come back for it, I'm going to opt in. Why don't you guys tack on another year on top of that? This year, there's no stop sign with that. He's just coming back for one more year. Will this be his last season? And Mike, you and I were fortunate to have covered in detail Kobe's last season with the Lakers 9 years ago. That's unbelievable. And Kobe did not decide for a few weeks into that season. And finally, I think he said, that's it, I'm done. We'll see if this is indeed LeBron's final season. If he decides before the year, maybe into the year, or maybe he's back for another one. Keep in mind, Bryce will be draft eligible a year from now, but that's just a whole different story for a whole different day. For now, LeBron is back under contract with the Lakers. To me, that's a big headline, period.
I want to get to the brief statement that LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, released in a second, but big game since we have you here. Number one pick. LeBron, of course, the most heralded, probably number one pick of all time, but you have a little bit of an idea, or a lot, of what that's like. But to think all of the time you spent in the NBA and your career, this great career, yours is in the Raptors, and here's a guy like LeBron, at the age 23, and he was All-NBA second team. It's hard to, we appreciate it, and sure, we talk about it, but none of us really understand what it's like to play 1 year in the NBA physically, let alone 10, or let alone your career, and now we're past 20, and it's just, can you put this into some perspective for us?
I cannot, because LeBron is somebody that we've never seen before. Kareem had a formula to longevity, but if you're 14 or 15, you can see Kareem, starting to slow down. I'm teaching about. I can definitely put it in perspective because, we're going to find out that LeBron is not human. He's alien. Because what he's been able to do in this game with the wear and tear and the travel, and I know everything's been improved, the travel, and they got better trainers, but I don't care. Still, to put in those type of minutes and to play with the type of force that he plays with, I was done at my 13th year. My legs and I was just sore and it wasn't fun anymore, but he makes it fun. He never stops working out. He broke the old formula to longevity, and he has the one and only formula that nobody else has at this point. He has it, and it just continues to amaze me that he can dominate. I mean, he dominated the last couple of years. And I remember they said we're going to play 29 minutes.
That's right.
He Remember that year? Was that last year or this year?
It was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. And he was like, no, I'm playing,
It was like one game. I think, season opener, Birmingham is there, and then it was back to playing his usual minute.
His love for the game, and, we all had our heroes. I mean, I grew up watching Julius Erving and, Earl of Pearl. But the players that he's had to look at, like Kobe, Durant, some of the guys that came a little bit before him, he got to witness a new style of the way the game is approached, the way you work out. Kobe set that precedent. The way you work out, the way you specialize in things. It's all year long. It used to be, guys would end of the season they take, a few weeks off. No, Kobe started, Mike, MJ started. LeBron just took it to the next level. But he loves the game. He really loves the game, and to see him still, I don't have words for him.
Very well said, Big Game. All right, so Press, to kick this to you now, we were talking about the Rich Paul segment where I mentioned it. I'll read it to you. LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are all very appreciative of the partnership we've had for 8 years and Rob. We consider the Lakers a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We want to evaluate what's best for LeBron. At this stage of his life and career, he wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that, are supportive, and want what's best for him. So, you think, Brez, about that statement, and nothing surprising there, right? These are all thoughts, and it certainly makes sense. But what stands out to you, and how do you think about that, considering LeBron opting into his deal here?
Yes, let me get this right. LeBron wants to win. Is that? I mean, that's obviously not surprising at all. But yeah, for sure. I mean, basically the Lakers, they don't have a ton of free agency money. They just don't. We've been talking about this all offseason, James. You were in here last week on the second day of the draft. We were talking about this again. The Lakers, it's not like they have $40 million in cap space. They can go out and sign a great free agent and pick up this guy and that guy. They're going to have to be creative and do it probably via trade. So what Rob Blake in the front office must do is be incredibly, let's call it like opportunistic with the very few good young players they have. Dalton Knecht is really the only guy drafted in the last couple of years who's an intriguing trade piece. You do have a bunch of expiring contracts. You've got Rui Hachimura. You've got Gabe Vincent. You've got basically Austin Reeves, because we all know he's going to opt out in the year. I'm not saying to trade Austin Reeves, love his game, but you've got some people where you can put a couple salaries together, kind of stack things up. But first and foremost, you got to get a center. Okay, Rob Blake,
Or two,
it was super clear in his postseason comments. We need a big man. Jackson Hayes lost his starting job towards the end of that first round playoff series. They went with Dorian Finney-Smith in the starting lineup. Not a lot of rim